A decade of culinary excellence is a sweet feat that Gallery Chele celebrated this year. To mark this milestone, they held a two-day decade, and to recount the culinary experience they pieced together for those who played a big part in their journey throughout the years. Joining us live by our Gallery Chele chef, of course, co-owner Chele Gonzalez, and Mecha chef and owner Bruce Ricketts. Maestro, Sensei, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It really, 10 years. We were just discussing this, chef. It must have flown by.
Well, yes. I mean, I arrived in the Philippines 13 years ago. Opened, actually it was 1 year pre-opening to conceptualize and make it happen. And in March 2013, start operations. Official opening, it was 11/11/2013.
Imagine that. It's no small feat for a restaurant, for a concept to be around, and not just be around, but be top of the game in the culinary scene. What does it feel like to mark 10 years?
I think when a restaurant is 5 years, I think it's a big impasse to really consolidate the business. But when you do 10 years, and I think that is the reason I was able to bring all of these culinary talents, is a big milestone.
Right.
So we wanted to celebrate it in a big way.
And celebrate it you did with big names. Of course, Chef Bruce over here is just one of the many chefs, or a few of the chefs who came to sort of bring their expertise.
Oh my God, you know, I have to say that because I always say it, and I always say it this way, Chele was one of the first chef friends I've had in Manila when I first started my restaurant in BF Home Sensei. And we would hang out and we would just kind of like throw ideas at each other, as well as, you know, do what younger people do when you're a cook and a chef. After a stressful day, have a nice drink. And we'd wake up and do like all these like random cooking after that. But just to see him grow, and even like honestly, one of the most exciting things was when he told me about his event. He was like, Bruce, you're gonna cook with us, okay? And you're gonna cook with. And then he started naming the chefs.
I know, it's like a dream team. It's it's the Avengers of the culinary world.
Could you imagine, like for me, as being a young cook, like these are guys that I would just read about. You know, so like to kind of share the room, to share the kitchen with these guys, and to be mentioned in the same breath, man, it was
intimidating.
It was intimidating, but at the same time, it was so exciting.
And like, it must have been such an experience. I mean, the energy in the kitchen must have been something different. I mean, obviously, everybody has their own, you know, time to shine. But at the same time, there is that old saying, you know, too many chefs spoil the broth. Is that the case? How do you bring this much talent together and come up with something fantastic?
One of the things that I make it happen, it was chefs who have been cooking with us in the past, who some of them are mentors, so it's a strong relationship. So from the Philippines, Bruce, Margarita, and Jordi have been, you know, starting also when we started, and then the other ones, you know, they have a strong connection. So we need to make it, you know, that it was like a family cooking together, and give also that special moments. For me, it was three parts: to the guests, to the team, because I think the team was so happy to have all of these talents around. And also, I think for the Philippines, you know, we bring them a couple of days to Pangulassian, because for me it was important to say, okay, I want to say thank you to you, because I think you are part of our success. And they were so amazed that, you know, say, hey, this is even nicer than, you know, go to the Maldives. It's like, it was an amazing journey, because preparation, execution, and a little bit of vacation
as well. And Chef Bruce over here said it was well deserved, because you know, literally, if you can't take the heat in the kitchen, you should get out, as they say. But everybody sort of decompressed, and at the same time, I think you've been a real advocate of sharing the best that the Philippines has to offer, and perhaps, you know, you open the eyes of many of us locals to just how much we actually have to be proud of as far as our cuisine goes. How has your approach to your craft and your art changed over the past 10 years? I mean, you have been such an advocate for Filipino cuisine. Your technique from molecular a molecular approach maybe to the way you prepare your food, has that developed and changed? Do trends come and go?
Yes, temps come and go, definitely. I think when you go to a very high level cuisine, it's like fashion, things change. But in our case, we remain the same, you know, our philosophy of work with local ingredients to understand, you know, local products in a different way. Sometimes we infuse Filipino cuisines, but we always, I like to always mention, Gallery is not a Filipino cuisine restaurant. Sure. It's a restaurant that is inspired by the Philippines, by the love, by the people, by, you know, the many different aspects, and always, you know, the foundation is going to be using local products, majority, no?
Right. And Chef Bruce, you know, you've also the same way. You've described what you do as Japanese inspired. You never say I'm a Japanese restaurant strictly. Let's talk about inspiration and how you find inspiration in what you do and sort of marrying that with what the gallery is all about. What did you prepare?
So, you know what, my vision was when Chele told me, okay, Bruce, we're going to cook, you're going to be doing this. For me, the first thing was the impulse was, you know what, in my head was, Chele, I'm going to make this dish, and the idea is to kind of reflect how our conversations are. But at the same time, I'm cooking this for you.
Right.
When I create this dish, my image is, man, I'm gonna serve this to you.
Okay.
So basically, I worked with the Japanese fish, but then I incorporated a very common Filipino ingredient, which was a grated coconut milk or grated coconut.
Right.
And we just charred the inside and then kind of steeped it with a soup made from the fish that I'm using, which is the hamachi.
Yeah.
And we squeezed it and make like a coconut milk out of that. That's a bit sour, almost like the idea of dipping hamachi with ponzu sauce.
Yum.
And it was the same thing. And when I was making it, when I was thinking about it, I was just like, man, okay, Chele loves texture, Chele likes aroma, Chele likes this. And then the rest was just more like trying to remember just little memories we would have when he would be so excited, when he discovers a new ingredient. He'll give me a call, hey, have you worked with this? And I'm like, no. But Chele, as always, thank you for introducing me to things that's right under my nose. You know, like this, and this has always been the dynamic, I think, that Chele and I have had as good friends and as good co-working, or I don't know, chefs, or just sharing that camaraderie. It's always, I look outwards to Japan to get inspiration, and I have chefs like Chele to remind me
Don't forget to see what we have
I
right
could
here.
be working with here as well.
Right.
So it's really a good way for me to acquire all these techniques from Japan, make it my own, and then apply it hopefully now and to the future to local products that we have.
Right. I love the way you describe it too. I mean, you're sort of referencing your friendship, your connection. It's almost like looking through an album or going through your phone and looking at old pictures. And remember when we ate this? Remember the flavor of this? How can we take this, recapture that moment, and put it in one bite, in one morsel?
You know, honestly, I feel like maybe it's just the years, or maybe, you know, us putting in many years in the kitchen that we're at a point where we're always just like reminiscing. I mean, you can take that for what it is, right?
That's good thing. Let's call that experience. Let's call that maturity in the kitchen. And really, the way you describe it, because I always associate the smokiness, the torch flavors, the texture with the kind of stuff that you do.
I have two of his dishes. I say, that looks very good. Make me one, and then I end having two.
Which is always a great sign. That's the best compliment I think any chef could have. Would be, you know, your compatriot, your own.
For them to eat it and enjoy it.
A chef friend to actually enjoy it. Moving forward, 10 years. Obviously, things have developed over the years. Like you said, trends come and go. Your touch changes. What's you know, on the horizon for you? What is it? What is the direction you'd like to take?
In Gallery, I think. For me, the craft of finesse, you know, even, you know, operated in the highest level, operating in a very happy environment. For me, I put a lot of effort, you know, to make my team happy, and you know, to look for the excellence. So, you know, be the best version of ourselves. Keep doing what we have been doing, and you know, keep bringing, you know, chefs and culinary excellence, you know, to the table.
Right, excellent stuff. What a milestone, 10 years. Looking forward to the time when we mark 20 years.
Let's think about it. We're a little bit exhausted.
We'll take it 1 year at a time.
He raised the bar too high now.
I know. But it's such a fantastic gathering of so many luminaries. Really looking forward to what happens next. Thank you so much, chefs, for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great pleasure.